Hello everyone and thank you for watching VATV. VATV is the voice of Vietnamese American in the Greater Boston area. It's sponsored by VATV, Vietnamese American Initiative for Development. The first half of our 1 hour program is in Vietnamese and the second half is in English. You can watch us live every Wednesday evening from 7 to 8 on Channel 8, Channel 9 if you have Comcast, and Channel 15 if you have ASEAN. You can also go to www.bnntv.org to watch us live. And if you happen to miss us, our television program, it will be broadcast on Sunday at 5 p.m., Monday at 1 p.m., and Tuesday at 11 a.m. To watch any of our TV shows, please go on our home website at www.vata.org. Our guest today will talk about Rosie Place. Please welcome Miss Michele Chausse. Can you introduce yourself to our audience?
All right, thank you. Right, my name is Michele Chausse. I've worked at Rosie's Place for almost a year and a half now. And Rosie's Place is a very important institution in Boston. We are having our 40th anniversary this year, so we opened our doors in 1974. Rosie's Place is located at 889 Harrison Avenue in the south end of Boston. Our mission is to provide a safe and nurturing environment for poor and homeless women to help them maintain their dignity, seek opportunity, and find happiness in their lives. And so when Rosie's Place first started 40 years ago, it was a place for women to come to get off the streets if they were homeless, to get a meal. At the time, there were no services for women, and women had to dress like men to go into the Pine Street Inn and places like that because we had nothing for women. So we were founded by Kip Tiernan, who was a very well-known woman in Boston, who was a social activist, and she passed away in 2011. And she said, I think we can do better than that. So we are the first shelter for just women in the United States, which is very important to us. Today, 40 years later, we offer so many things for women. Everything is free. Our doors are open to anyone who wants to come and visit us.
Specifically, who you serve and who can come? You say that anybody. It means just
anybody,
women.
Any woman.
Any woman.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but we have all kinds of women. In the early days, women who were homeless would be maybe women who had alcohol or drug addiction, or women who have mental health problems. There are many women who have to leave their home because of abuse situation with their husband or partner. And so, as I said, our doors are open to them. In addition, we have many women now who come for maybe a free meal, maybe to go to our food pantry to help stretch their budget, women who are working 1 job, 2 jobs. We have women who have families and some women who are on their own. We are also seeing today many women from many countries come to Rosie's Place. We're seeing many more Asian women.
Okay, you see that it seems the Rosie Place now is the big organization. It's not small like from the beginning. Could you go back a little bit to see
Sure.
how from the Kip turn.
How did we grow?
Develop, and they grow to the big organization like this
Well,
today.
we see 12,000 women a year, so I guess that makes us big, but we're still in one building,
Yes.
and we still have the personal touch. But when we started, so when Kip said, let's start a shelter for women, we found an old grocery store that was empty in the South End, and it was called Rosen's. So she got some volunteers together and $250, and the doors opened on Easter Sunday, 1974. And at that time, you could get a free meal and a bed for overnight. So as I said, we still do that, but we do much more. So as time went on, more women were hearing about us, word of mouth on the street. So we moved into a bigger facility. Then that had a fire. So we fixed that up, and then we moved to where we are today. And that place has grown too. So let me tell you about, the services that we offer.
But excuse me.
Okay,
But
sorry.
first, why is here the name Rosie Place?
Oh, yes,
why?
yes. Okay, well, so the name of the grocery store was Rosen's. So Kip, she had worked in advertising, and so she was very clever, and so she said, let's name it something that doesn't sound like a government organization, that doesn't sound like institutional. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Rosie's Place sounds like a friendly place that you could stop in and have a cup of coffee and, a welcoming place that didn't feel like an agency. So that is, that way of thinking and that way of giving our services is the same today. We, from day one, Kip said we won't take any government money.
Oh, why?
Well, because she wanted to be able to do what is best for the women without lots of paperwork and questions and red tape, and also without limits. Many times in government agencies, you are very limited for what services you can get.
So that you can say that's from the $250 from the beginning, and you grow up to like a big right now, but you receive nothing. You refill
No
funding from
city,
the
state, federal government, or the United Way. And we are very, very fortunate that we have generous community of individuals and corporations, foundations. Our budget is many millions of dollars now. We raise all of that.
Just private, not from the public.
No governmental funding.
No government funding.
And people are very happy to see that 86 cents of every dollar is for services for our women.
Yeah, that's a good one to hear. Okay, now, could you go more detail when a woman came to ask for help for services and what you begin to...
Well, let me tell you what happens when somebody comes to our front door, okay? And a woman can be homeless.
Yeah.
And it's not for us to tell her to change. So when you come into our big lobby, it's very bright and sunny. There are free services there for you right away. You can have a shower. You can do your laundry. You can put your belongings in a locker. You can sit in a quiet room and just take a rest. And all that is available to you. You can use our phone. We have computers in the lobby. You can use our address to have mail sent to you. And if you want to make a change and talk to one of our advocates, we have a woman sitting right in our lobby, and you just tell her you want an appointment, and you'll be seen very soon that day. And if you come back tomorrow and the day after and you want to meet with an advocate, that's fine. We are not keeping track, of how many services you're
Oh.
getting, or saying, well, we saw you this month, go away. We call the women we serve guests.
Yeah.
They're our guests. It feels gracious. And so we're very guest-centered. The reason we've grown is because the more we know the women and they tell us what they need, what they could use, we say, well, let's see if we can do it. And that's why we've grown. So when you come in, as I said, you can have breakfast, you can have lunch, you can have dinner. You can come to our food pantry once a month. That much we say. And we have fresh produce. We're very fortunate. Many farms give us what they grow. So we just don't provide canned goods. We provide vegetables, fruit, meats, dairy, and women can choose what they want. We don't give them a bag. We want them to feel more power. So we, give them guidelines, but a woman can put together what she wants. And she leaves with 20, 30 pounds of food once a month. The other thing that we like to think is special about us is just the love we give the women. So when you come in and you come for a meal, we bring it to you at the table like a restaurant. We don't have you stand in a soup line, so to speak. And so just by doing those things a little differently, I think it makes women feel hopeful. Maybe they will find something good to make a change. So if you do sit down with someone and you want an appointment, we have specialists we bring in, plus our people know very much. We can help you with find a job. We can help you with the paperwork for housing. We know, we can, if you don't get a bed in our shelter, we can help direct you to another place. We give you a free card for the Charlie card if you want to go for a medical appointment. We also have nurses and doctors who come in and they will diagnose and they will provide medical care in our wellness center. All this is on the first floor of our building. And I can tell you a little more. We have 2 floors that have the shelter. We have 20 beds. The thing that is different about us is that you can stay for 21 days, 3 weeks. Many shelters, you have to show up at 1 o'clock every day to see if you get a bed. It really prevents you from having a productive day. So 8 o'clock in the morning, we have the lottery. If you get your number, you can move in for 3 weeks. And that gives women time to get balanced. And if they want services, we can help them. And so that, I'm trying to think of what else. Well,
That means when the woman came, did she have to tell you everything in her past, so that you can help her?
no, and this is another reason we don't take government money, is that we are not big on paperwork. So if you want to tell us your full name and a little bit about yourself, we'll put it in the computer. If you don't, that's fine too. Some women don't want to provide their full name, or they don't. We feel that when you fill out government forms, you have to ask a lot of questions.
Oh,
You're right, and some
yeah.
women are private and don't want to discuss, especially things that are difficult or painful. And so we don't push for that. So you give us a name, we'll call your name, we'll sit down with you and see what it is you need. We don't provide psychotherapy, but we have a therapist from the Department of Mental Health who comes in. We'll also talk to certain women and see if they need other services. We will refer women to detox, etc. And so Yes, it's,
That is the services you get. You had training class or training section for the women? Prepare for them to go back to the
You mean like-
normal life?
you mean like for jobs?
Yes.
Or- Well, we don't really have job training, but we did start an education center.
Yeah.
And again, because we saw that many women were not speaking English and they wanted to. So we put together a special program to give women language skills that would help them in everyday activities. You know, just transportation or so on, how to get around. So we will provide English as second language classes. We were doing GED, we're doing that as, we have tutors as well as teachers. We have computer classes, we have literacy classes and reading classes. And so that is also free, and we only have 8 students in a class. We offer them in the daytime and in the evening for women who work. So these classes are led by volunteers, and I'll talk a little bit about volunteers later. And so women really, if they're motivated, we can really help them increase their ability to speak English.
Okay, you said that you will talk about the volunteer. That's a big organization right now, and you need a lot of hand to run that place. And could you ask our audience to give you a hand?
Well, absolutely. And we rely on volunteers because we want to keep our budget as reasonable as possible. So for instance, last year, volunteers gave us 65,000 hours. That's equal to 32 staff people you know, we already have over 70 staff people. So it is such a value to us. And we would certainly love people who could help us with the English classes, who might have language skills. I said we're seeing more Asian women. We don't have any staff right now who are bilingual in speaking Chinese or Vietnamese or other languages. So anybody can go to our website, which I will say is www.rosiesplace.org. We have a big button on the homepage, volunteer, and you just give us a little information, and we have people who come and prepare and serve the meals. As I mentioned, teachers and tutors. We have volunteers who help in our food pantry too. And we also have an arts program that women can come in the bottom level and knit, sew, create art, go to a museum. We use volunteers who have skills in those areas too. So it's really, you know, with 3 meals a day, we need sometimes 10, 12 people per meal. That is a constant flow of, and we do rely on the community. We're very grateful.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we talk with Mr. Michele Chausse, Director of Communication at Rosie Place, and she gave us a lot of useful information. Thank you very much for your coming to our show. And
Thank you.
Now, can you give the last word to our audience?
Well, I just want everyone to know that our doors are open all day until 8 p.m. And anyone who does come to us for any kind of assistance is greeted with open arms. And we do our best to meet the needs of every woman. We, as I said, we show women love and respect and understanding. And in addition to making sure people know about our services, which you can all find online, as I said, volunteers and donations, of course, are very important.
Thank you very much. And
Thank you.
The address of Rosie Place at 889 Harrison Avenue in Boston. Thank you for following us today. Once again, we thank you for watching VATV. Any question, comment, please call us at 617-822 3717 or email us at vatv@vata.org. We hope you have a wonderful week and goodbye. Thank you very much.